Greetings. I am Taven of a Mind Transformed, and this is Manna for Your Journey. There was a young man who found himself in a unfortunate situation. He found himself short on his rent through no fault of his own. He had one of those unfortunate situations you may hear about where he got up, he got dressed, he left his house, he went to work as was his custom, but when he got there, he found the doors securely locked with a note saying the company had gone out of business. The young man was counting on this paycheck in order to be able to pay his rent, and without it, he was going to be short. He had a wife and a young child. The young man was desperate because he didn't want to see his family destitute. So he prayed to God for an answer, for a way, for a breakthrough, because he didn't want to go back to his previous life of making money by any means necessary. So as the young man went home, he kind of went door to door asking if there was any odd jobs that he could do for any of his neighbors, anything that he could do to try to scrounge up some money to be able to pay rent. On the stop before his house, he passed a woman who was taking groceries into her house. He asked her if there was anything that he could do around the house that he could assist her in order to just to make some money towards his rent. She eyed the young man, looked him up and down, and said, "Please help me bring these groceries in the house. I will give you $400." The young man frowned his face, looked at the woman, and said, "If you didn't want to help me, you could have said so, but you shouldn't mock the situation that I'm in." The woman is taken back by this response as she looked at the young man whose face is now frustrated with his situation. And she said to him, "If I asked you to rake the leaves off of the lawn, to cut the grass, to prune these hedges, and to take down this branch that's getting ready to fall down for $400, would you have done it?" And the young man said, "Absolutely. I would have definitely done that to the best of my ability. This yard would have looked great when I was done." So the woman said to him, "But because I asked you just to help me bring some groceries in the house, you thought this task was too easy and not warranting or deserving of $400. So you were willing to throw away this opportunity because you didn't think you had to work hard enough for it. What if I was just a person who wanted to be a blessing to a young man who was trying to do the right thing to take care of his family?" With tears in his eyes, that young man said, "Ma'am, I would like to assist you by helping you with those groceries." There are going to be times in our lives where we are asking God for a blessing, for a breakthrough, for a miracle, and we'll get an answer that seems so simple. We'll reject it, even to the point of being offended, because we think it wasn't of God or it's not going to work. We all have a little Naaman in us. 2 Kings chapter 5 tells the story of Naaman, a general, a great leader, a great man who God had given a victory in his last war. And he suffered with leprosy. He heard of through a servant of the prophet Elisha. And so he travels to Israel to see if there's a cure for his ailment. He brings chariots, he brings clothes, he brings money so he can present it to the man of God so he can in turn receive a blessing. The man of God doesn't even come out and see him. He sends a servant. He tells him to go dip 7 times in the Jordan River and he would be healed. And Naaman is incensed. He's offended, furious at this response. How dare the man of God not even come see me, and then he's going to tell me to go dip in this river? I could have done that at home. So he leaves. People come up to him and ask him, and basically they say, "If you were told to do something hard for this, would you not have done it? Why not trust and try this to see if it works?" And of course, Naaman goes, he dips 7 times in the Jordan River, and he is healed. There are going to be times where we're asking for that breakthrough and that blessing and that miracle, and we think it has to come hard. It has to be hard. It has to be difficult. We have to fast for weeks, or just get on our knees and pray continuously for hours, or go to church every time the door opens, or give a certain amount of money, or do something of some large and difficult status in order to earn the breakthrough or the blessing. But what if God just wanted to bless you because he loved you enough and he wanted to put you in a better situation? So the answer was so simple. There are going to be times where God will frustrate our expectations and our belief just because if we do something that's great, we will have the audacity to say we earned the breakthrough or the blessing instead of giving God all the glory because he blessed us and he brought us through in his grace and mercy. Never overlook the simple when it comes to breakthrough. Let God be God and let him decide how he's going to bring you out. Well, that's all I have for you today. Again, I am Tabin of A Mind Transformed, and this has been Manna for Your Journey. Be blessed.